development. This is the continuation of our last topic. Self development. Do you know the difference between reality and lies? And are you sure? So, part one. So, just to inform you, a disclaimer, as I always say, I'm not a psychologist. I just really am very interested in knowing about human behavior. Like, why are we sometimes sad? Why are we happy? Sometimes our mood swings changes, because I believe once we know who we really are and what are the types of behavior that we have, we will really be able to use it into our atomy journey. Okay, because as we all know, atomy is network marketing. So we are dealing with different kinds of people. So once we understand their behavior, we will be able to fully adapt in each and everyone's behavior, and so then we will be able to do our networking part better. Okay, so welcome to our next topic: belief system and lies. Great title, isn't it? Right? I bear with me. I'm so nervous when I is here because she studied psychology. So, okay. So let's start with a quick recap. A belief system, or BS for short, is simply a collection of beliefs. All right. But here's the thing: beliefs are not always true or right. Just because you believe something doesn't automatically make it true, right? So we talked about the belief system from last time, wherein our parents say like, they believe in something like this, but little do we know they're not true, because we have proven that they are not true. And that seems obvious, yet most of us carry around countless beliefs that we've never questioned or proven, and many of them aren't true at all. So think back to the Zen philosophy. We also talked about it last week. When you are alone in a room with nothing but your own thoughts, about 99% of what you believe will turn out to be ultimately true. Still, you believe it for so long, defended it, and even built your life on it. Yeah, this is one of the reasons most people are losing in the game of life. Why? Because we said there are two main reasons. So the first reason is, why are people, losing in the game of life? The first reason is not knowing the rules of life. But who knows the rules of life? When we were born, we don't know the rules of life. Our parents doesn't know, grandparents doesn't know about it, right? So this is why you're learning to understand how life really works, especially when it comes to your neck up, your control system, or your mind. So we talked about last week that we are the ones who control our mind, who can make our own future. So if we will put in our heads, okay, I wanted to be successful. So then we have to think about how we will be able to become successful. Okay. And the second one is not knowing what is true or not. When we were younger, we actually don't know what is, true or not, because everything that has been told to us, we believed. No, because we don't question, or we don't, how do you say, we don't question it, or we don't say, that is wrong, because we don't know it yet. And that second reason is huge. It's essentially the rest of the world's struggle, caught between illusion and truth. The second slide is, so the next concept is, no matter how much you are in love with a lie, it doesn't make it true. And let's be honest, sometimes we are in love with lies. We sometimes wrap ourselves in lies. Sometimes we are in love with our lies and we will defend them, right? Who's guilty? Sometimes, yeah, I'm also guilty. Most of us already lied in our life. Am I correct? No? No? Yes? Okay. Yeah. And how do we get past this? We need to learn ways to counter our own BS, or belief system. Not questioning what you believe is called delusion. In the course, it says you're literally on a state of delusion. You believe something to be true, but it isn't. It is just a delusion. Is it something appears to be something, but it isn't. Well, that is an illusion. We want to disillusion you according to the professor. So, what does dissolution means? Dissolution meant is the removal of illusions, and when you remove that illusions, those false information which has been holding you down and hurting you your entire life, that is the best thing a person can do for you. So, because of our belief system, we believed into something that sometimes it's not true and it is kept into our head. So, sometimes we overthink, we don't know what to do, we cry, we get angry, and so on. So, what this course is all about is it will help us on how to delete those information that we need that we do not need to proceed in our life, right? And so the primary concept of what we believe is actually delusion. 99% of what we believe is not true. And now maybe you're asking, how can that be true? How can 99% of what we believe in is not true? When I first started hearing about this lesson, I was like also thinking like 99% it can't be, right? Because every day, yeah, when something is told to us, we believe it's true. But sometimes it's not true. So here's an example from physics. It's called the table problem. I don't know, I have you heard about the table problem? Yes. So can you guess what the problem is? Anyone? From what you see onto the screen, what do you think is the problem? Any guess? There's no wrong answer. Any guess? No? So the main problem is what the hell is actually a table? So that's the main problem. What is a table? Now, according to the course, you could gather all the scientists and brilliant minds in the world into one room and they still wouldn't agree on what a table is, right? So at first glance, it feels obvious. I can tell you what a table is. So I'm looking at it right now. It's a piece of wood, right? A table is a piece of wood. And you wouldn't be wrong, but you wouldn't be completely right. Why wouldn't you be completely right? Because a wooden table is more than just a wood. And even wood isn't the ultimate reality. It's made of other things. So what is it really? At different levels of understanding, there are different levels of reality. Our brain tends to stop at first answer. Oh, it's a wooden table. Done. I'm not thinking anymore because it's what I see. But in truth, it's much more to think about. So let us put it into small chunks. So, for example, for biological reality, wood was once a living organism, now transformed into a table. For physical reality, tap on it and it feels solid. But did you know that wood is made of molecules? And those molecules are constantly moving. By that definition, it's not completely solid, it's more like a liquid just arranged in a way that our hands can pass through. And there's also the scientific reality. Dig even deeper and you find atoms or particles, energy fields, and at that point, even the best scientists will admit we don't have a final answer. Because there are a lot of different realities in the world, and we never know what is true, right? Because these different types of reality, they have their own concepts and they already also have their own explanation. So here's the point. Even with something as simple as a table, we don't know its ultimate reality. So after hearing about this, I also felt into myself, okay, like before I was doing atomy at the beginning, we don't have confidence. We do not believe in ourselves. But that is not the reality. The more you experience life in doing your atomy, the more you will really believe in your own capabilities. Okay, so do not when you start doing the atomy business, do not actually believe that you cannot do atomy because you can. You just have to find your own reality. Okay. And I leave you hanging for now, but next week we will dive into the recipe for deletion, pain, and failure. So this is a very interesting topic because we will be telling you why do we feel pain, and why do we feel pain when we experience failure. So this is a very, very interesting topic. I actually put it on hold because I really wanted you to think, this is a homework, to think about why do you actually feel pain when you experience failure, and what do you do to ease that pain from failure. So that is a homework, and I will be asking most of you, but first I will ask, of course, a volunteer for next week. Okay, so we have here a, sorry, okay. Tita Zen already left. So, do you have any questions or clarifications, some sharings that you wanted to share based on our topic? I maybe.
Just got me thinking when it comes to reality versus lies. Just wanna connect it with regards to our business. Like there's really a connection between lies and reality because just thinking about our philosophy in Atomy, it revolves around absolute quality, absolute price. So that's the foundation of it, which means there is honesty and transparency in our business. So if we look at reality, it aligns with our Atomy philosophy. So, for example, we have honest marketing. We really emphasize the realness of our products benefits, proven by science and quality standards and how they do research. Well, the lies is exactly opposite to our atomy philosophy. When you say over promising and misleading claims, like, for example, saying, oh, this product can cure your disease or your cancer or make someone rich overnight, that is a lie. And I absolutely hate that when I'm being marketed with some product and saying, oh, it can cure your disease. Oh, it can, this damage also our credibility. And going back to reality, when you say sustainable trust, this is what we are really working hard in our business. Like reality-based marketing builds long-term relationship with our customers and partners, and also with absolute quality and absolute price. These are our kind of like verifiable truth about Atomy, not exaggerated claims because we experience it ourselves. Our customer experience it and they really see the results. It's not just a lie claim, yeah. So going back to lie, when you say short-term gains, long-term losses, lies attract quick interest but destroy trust and team integrity. So that's why I don't buy to other marketing claims or other products because I see a short-term games with it, and I don't see myself in the next coming months, years. Like, yeah, for example, in 7 days you will whiten your skin, you will be brighter, you will look like as an Asian, we are so greedy or giddy about looking young and I'm whiter. And I don't bite in such marketing strategy because for me that's lies, and it's attractive. Lies is attractive because it gives you some kind of quick interest, but eventually it destroys your trust because it's not long term. Eventually after 7 days, okay, you'll get whiter in 7 days, but then after a few months and after not using it consistently, it's not working. And also, adding to the lies, it's also against our ethical network marketing. If you look at our social media guidelines, just going back to our philosophy and our guidelines, Atomy promotes fairness and transparency. So lies really create, for me, really creates a toxic culture. And that's what I love being in this business because we are not lying here. And I don't force people also and saying people like it can address their problems, and especially where diseases. No, absolutely no. But we have a product proven with benefits, proven by science, real benefits, and I see it also for myself. And I always speak with regards to my experience. Not that I don't try the product, but I always speak true from my experience. So in summary, just quick summary, reality builds trust, but trust builds networks. So lies break trust, and without trust, there is really no success here. And I know it takes time, but we just need to trust the process and build our network with that trust. And stop lying. This is what I always mention, that no, I'm not lying here. And let's not use that let's not go to the lies and just go back to our truth in Atomy. And
Yeah,
that's all.
definitely. I like what you said. Like when we introduce our product to other people, it's our own experience, right? Because we have tried the products. So as you said, once you've tried the product, we share our experience and it creates a bond and trust that will last for a long time. So this,
Yeah, exactly. Truth is our strategy and reality is our brand.
yes, perfect. I perfectly well said. Thank you very much for this.
No problem.
Thank you very much for this sharing. And this is really very important. So if you see, this is just like a reminder for us, okay, for the distributors or auto consumers. When you see a person or hear a person who's doing atomy and giving extravagant information about, oh, hemohim will cure your disease, it will cure your diabetes, you know, tell them to just say the truth about their own experience, because we all know if we haven't experienced this, then it's not coming from us, it comes from other people, and it will be a short-term business for them. But if we rely on our own truth about our own experience, and if we share this to other people based on our experience, then it will create a long-term business for us, and this is what Atomy is all about.